guys. Good morning, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of the First Family of Las Vegas's Daily Free Winner Show, brought to you by the best website on the planet, your one-stop sports betting shop, Sports Memo. Guys, it is the first week of the new year. I got to tell you, I didn't think we could top Monday's show, Tuesday's show, but Wednesday's show, today's show is an all-star panel. If this was a baseball season, this would be the all-star game. Now, I would probably be an old-timer. We got some younger guys in the lineup here, but I'm going to tell you I'm very excited. Let me bring everybody on. I'm going to go around the horn, and then I'll do some individuals. Pavlos, Laguretos, Ross Benjamin, Don Buster, Tony Mejia is with us. Let me start with the Greek god of soccer. Pavlos, how are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys. Things have been going amazing with soccer plays. Plus 70 units since December 1st. Finished the World Cup with a bang. Started the new year with another winner. I had a 5% winner yesterday with Manchester United. I have another big play loaded. Lots of plays, lots of soccer action. I couldn't be happier. And I hope you guys are doing as well.
Thank you, Pavlos. My good friend, Ross Benjamin. Ross is always one of my favorite people. He's got that amazing, infectious smile. I do a lot of content with Ross, and you're going to see a lot more content with us in the new year. But, Ross, how are you, and Happy New Year?
Happy New Year to you and Dionne and the rest of the guys here. Always a pleasure to be with you guys. 12-4-1 bowl season, Joey.
Wow.
I couldn't be happier with that. 3-1 in the NFL on Sunday, including a 10-star top play winner on the Green Bay Packers. So, and also, a 5-star top play winner. I had a 10-star top play winner on Saturday in college football playoffs with Ohio State plus the points. They should have won outright. But, well, a winner is a winner is a winner, Joe.
A winner is a winner is a winner, says the legend himself. I love Don Buster, and this is our first show in the new year with him. Don, Happy New Year to you. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Joe. Happy New Year to everybody here. Everything going not going as well as Pavlos and Ross, that's for sure. I had a good run during the week last week. Couple bad days lately. A little 2-4. Lost a couple college basketball totals by a bucket on each one of those. But as I always say, I've sat here before. It doesn't matter if you lose by 1 or you lose by 31. A loss is a loss, a win's a win. So I'm not going to sit here and piss and moan about it. And I'm going to move forward and have a good day today.
Well, at the same token, Don Buster, you win a lot more than you lose. So we love you. We're happy to be here with you. My good friend Tony Mejia. Now, I got to say hello to Tony because Tony's a real family man. I don't want to get personal here, but I love Tony. He's got the loveliest family. Tony, how are you? How are your daughters?
I'm great. They are back in school today. So yesterday we went on a little excursion. And then, fate rewarded me with a great day. The 3-in-1 day. The only thing I didn't hit was Jaylen Brown's points and rebounds because he mysteriously only had 2 rebounds. And that guy averages way more than that. He had 27 points and the PRA was 33.5. So just missed out on that, but hit both 4% plays on that Celtics Thunder over. And one of my first 4% plays of the college basketball season because I've treaded lightly on that while college football and NFL have been really mandating my attention. So, but really liked Tennessee yesterday, and they rewarded me with a nice coast job that I didn't have to worry about watching the second half in. So that was great. And we've had, I think, 5 consecutive winning days. They're all documented on my page, and we'll talk about my page later. But doing great. Happy 2023 to you, your lovely wife, and this great panel. And I wish you nothing but blessings.
Oh, thank you, Tony. We love being here with you. Tony, you mentioned the kids are back at school. I'll just say us, kind of like during quarantine, you couldn't wait to leave the house, but then as soon as you went out, couldn't wait to get back home. I loved when my son was off on vacation. We'd be home. Then I really couldn't wait for his first day back at school. We're not going to put you on the spot, but it was always nice because then we got our vacations. I want to start the show.
Speaking of the kids going back to school, Jeff said the same thing yesterday. Yeah. He's like, yes, the kids went back to school. It's time for me to have some fun.
Cats away to mice are playing. Actually, Jeff was running around the house with scissors and drinking soda really early in the morning. We had a lot of fun. Good. You know how I start every show? Good morning, honey.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. By the way, Dionne finished 2022 on 5 or 6 leaderboards. Really good stuff. I finished the year with another 10% winner, a couple of 5% winners. I was 19-4 last year, 2022, with 10% releases. There was 1 month I couldn't find another game I liked enough to put out a 10% release, just like Rush. Guys, I got to tell you, man, if I'm not going to force it for you. If I'm not betting it, I'll never ask you to bet it. Having said all that, we don't have a lot of fluff today. One thing, guys, Friday, we're going to do our show. Then we're going to take off out of here. We'll be doing the pro and college football shows on Thursday. Well, the pro and college football show combined on Thursday. Then throughout the NFL season through the Super Bowl, we'll be doing the NFL show on Thursday. Get a little more shelf life for you guys, so you take advantage of those big free winners that you get from our all-star panel of contributors before the lines move. But this Friday, after our show, we're taking off to AVN. For all of those out there that don't know what AVN is, it's the Adult Video News Convention Expo Awards. I got to tell you, we have fun. Now, a lot of you out there go, oh, it's porn. Yeah, it's porn. But you know what? It's not. Listen, don't lie. Anybody out there, we all know if I went through your browser history, we'd find a lot of porn. So don't even start with me. All right, guys, I will tell you this, though.
I don't want to see what they have in their history.
In my history? It's kind of like being on YouTube where you go to watch sports betting, and the next thing you're into sports, and the next thing you're into like equestrian and then water polo. That's what porn is like. You go into next thing
technically when we were there not last year because it didn't go on last year because of all the stuff that was going on with COVID. But the last time we were there, it was kind of like sports because the guys were walking around with the pictures of the people, having them signed just like they were when they were going to the baseball field with baseball cards.
Yeah, Tony Ross, guys, people go, guys and women, couples, men, women, straight, gay, whatever it is, everybody goes there. People are like when we used to be kids or go to a sports card convention, they'll have like stuff in their hands. Oh my God! And like some of the adult entertainers, like I don't even. This is like 74. Yeah, I've been a fan of you for 47 years. I'm like, oh my God, this is black and white movie
Nothing
porn.
Says stalker more.
Nothing says stalker.
Following someone for 47
But we have
years.
fun. It's not what you guys think. We have a lot of fun with it, and we're gonna get to see a lot of our friends and whatnot, and some other entertainers that do some other stuff there. So, having said all that, Dionne's got a couple of discounts. Then we're going to go right into free winners for you from Ross, Pavlos, Tony, Don, Dionne, and myself. Dionne, take it away.
Yeah, so $2 Tuesday featured cappers are still available. You can get Dan Kaiser, Tim Michael, and the Insiders Room. You can get them for $2 a piece, or the best deal is get all three for just $5. We also do have a new promo that did start. Ring in 2023 with us. You can get up to 84 days for absolutely free. We want to give you 23% more on all sports, all access, 30-day packages or longer. So basically, if you buy a 30-day all sports, all access pass, you're going to go ahead and get 7 free days. If you buy a 90-day pass, you're going to get 22 free days. If you buy a full year, you're going to get 84 free days, which takes you basically all the way through March Madness of 2024. And that is available on both Sports Memo and WagerTalk. That one, no code is necessary. All you have to do is go to the site and get that deal. Sports Memo also does have an amazing deal going on right now for myself and Joe. You can get a 7-day all sports, all access for just $59 from either one of us for just $59 by using the code FAMILY7 upon checkout.
Oh, real quick, we had a couple comments yesterday. Yes, I put some up. Dionne and I had to go to the police station. Okay, somebody tried to clip the lock and a few other locks at one of our storage rooms. We had to file out a claim for insurance and whatnot. Got to tell you though, funny thing, I went down there Monday. The police station was closed. The police station wasn't like a 7-Eleven was closed or a gas station or your grocery store. I got to tell you. So you know what? I did make a few extra bucks. I robbed a few people in the parking lot. I love it, guys. Without any further ado, I'm going to start off. We're going to start off with our leadoff hitter, the Ricky Henderson of sports betting, the best leadoff hitter in the history of baseball, Mr. Ross Benjamin. Guys, for decades, Ross has been a leaderboard fixture. It doesn't matter if it's grass or hardwood or ice. It doesn't matter if it's pro or college. It doesn't matter what time of year. He is a winner. All right, another great year for Ross and anybody that followed him in 2022. I want to tell you, he started off 2023 the same way he finished 2022. He's going to tell you what he's been doing. He's going to tell you what you could expect from him on the premium side at Sports Memo. He's got a free best bet. Mr. Ross Benjamin, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Joey. I appreciate that. TCU and Baylor as the game I'm going to look at in college basketball tonight. Baylor is currently -6 in this contest. And Baylor, here's the key. That I look at in terms of why I think TCU for the main part is going to cover this game. TCU is number 16 in the country in forcing turnovers. As a matter of fact, when they specifically speaking, I should say, they force 24.6% of the time they'll force turnovers on the opponent's offensive possessions. That's 1 out of every 4 times that the opponents have the ball, TCU has forced a turnover this season. Conversely, Baylor is number 262 in the country in offensive turnover percentage. The Bears, as good as they are, they turn the ball over 20.2% of their offensive possessions this year. So as you can see where I'm going with this, I think TCU is going to be able to force turnovers in this game, and as a result, we'll get several baskets in easy transition. Baylor, on the other hand, off a 77-62 loss at Iowa State in their last game. In that contest, they shot 37%. They allowed the Cyclones to shoot 50% from the floor. TCU, this is a team that was in the AP top 10 at the beginning of the season. They started 2-1, including a loss to Northwestern State, a 1-point win against Arkansas Pine Bluff as a 36-point favorite. But since that time, they're starting to look exactly like the team everybody they thought would be early on, and they've gone 10-0 straight up and 8-2 against the spread in their last 10. Defensively, TCU's number 18 in the country in defensive efficiency, allowing 90.5 points per 100 possessions by their opponents, and they're also number 17 in offensive rebounding. TCU rebounds offensively 36.3% of their missed shots. So they create a lot of second chance opportunities, which in turn wears down the opposition. And TCU 6-0 straight up in ATS this year versus teams that have a +4 or greater rebound per game differential, winning those games by 16.4 points per contest. And Baylor right now is at +5 in that department. So I'm going to go with TCU here, Joey. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they win this game outright, but I'm certainly not going to get greedy. I'm going to take TCU +6 at Baylor tonight.
The Horned Frogs +6, says Ross Benjamin, one of the most respected names in the history of sports betting. Guys, I'm going to tell you, Ross is always on a leaderboard fixture, and he's been doing it not just for a year or 2 years or a week or a day or a couple of years. Every year, year in, year out, he is on the leaderboards, all sport profits. He does great. We got the best customer appreciation discounts on the planet at Sports Memo and WagerTalk. After the show, he is an ideal capper to follow with one of these great discounts. You're going to follow him straight to the bank. I got to tell you, you might need 2 banks just to hide all the money from your wife or your husband. I'll tell you that. Now, Ross walk it like he talk it. He's got to get off real quick because he's got to put some more winners over at Sports Memo. So he's going to sign off. But after this show, go follow Ross. You will follow him to the bank. Ross, thank you for stopping by today, sir. Just
a quick note before I leave, and thank you for having me, Joey. Since December 26th, 18-9 in all sports at Sports Memo. That's good for 67%. I will have the championship game winner in college football. Like I said, a 12-4-1 record this bowl season. So I'm getting it done in that respect. And NFL, rolling right along, been in the top 5 or 6 all season long at Sports Memo, and as well as other sites that I post at as well. So it's been a great NFL season, a red hot college football bowl season, and all sports, like I said, 18-9 since the 26th of December. So follow me. Let's make some money.
Great stuff from Ross Benjamin. Ross, thank you for stopping by. I know you got to put some more winners up right now over at Sports Memo. Thank you, my friend, and Happy New Year to you and your beautiful family.
The same to you, Joey, and Happy New Year to all the viewers out there and the panel as well.
Great stuff. Thank you, Ross. My friends, we're going to go over to my friend Tony Mejia. When the First Family was first approved to bring on WagerTalk Cappers, which is our brother website, and guys, the best collection of cappers, Sports Memo, WagerTalk on the planet. Thousands of cappers want to be on these 2 sites. They handpick them. And Tony Mejia is one of the best on the best collection of cappers on the planet. And I love Tony Mejia because he's like the first guy who said, we got to go get Tony. Mm-hmm. And Tony said, absolutely, Joe. I'd love to wake up with you every morning because we have some fun. But Tony does some great content, and numbers don't lie. Some of the best numbers on the best site on the planet, are owned by Tony Mejia. Tony's going to tell you what he's been doing. He's going to tell you what you can expect from him on the premium side at WagerTalk. He's got a free best bet. Tony Mejia, the floor is yours.
Appreciate that, Joe. It's been a great start to 23, nearly 69% on accuracy of picks and up 19 units over the first 3 days of the month. Yesterday was a good one. Should have been a perfect 4-0, but circumstances are circumstances. Closed out 2022 on a 7-1 and 1 5% play run. So that's our max plays over at WagerTalk with the Georgia Ohio State over. So that hit to close that, ring that out. So we'll take that into 2023, and I'll have max plays available. I think I'll have one Saturday night. So we will have more up on that. I'll have packages available as soon as I get off the show, but check me out at wt.buzz/TM for all my streaks, and the last 20 picks are up there, or you can read the analysis you'll get. And it's been, like I said, a good run. 8-1 last 9 NBA totals. I'm number 2 over the last 30 days in NFL. So 4-0 and 4-1 college football run. So the bowls have been pretty good of late. And we'll look to finish that up strong in the national championship, and I actually have a lean in the FCS championship. But for today, we will talk about the Brooklyn Nets, who are hotter than me and hotter than pretty much everybody, and winning 12 in a row and 16 of the last 17. So once Kyrie Irving got off suspension and Kevin Durant got a little more help, they've really taken off. They have been playing well on both sides of the ball. You've seen Nick Claxton step up and be a great defensive center, which is what they've needed. The role players are back in their normal roles with Irving back. So really dominating teams at this point. And they come off a 139-103 rout of the Spurs to kick off 23 on the right fashion. And Kevin Durant had 11 assists in that game, only played 29 minutes. So he should be fresh for tonight as they hit the road again. They'll be back out on the road later this week in New Orleans, where they now won't have to deal with Zion Williamson because he's injured. Brandon Ingram probably still won't be back. So they could extend this if they get by the Bulls tonight. There's word out of the Windy City that Zach LaVine is unhappy with his role. They had figured out some things in winning, I believe it was 6 of 8 before running into the Cavaliers and giving up 71 the other night to Donovan Mitchell. They lost back-to-back games to the Cleveland Cavs. So they're reeling a little bit again. And I think Brooklyn will cover a 5-point spread. I mean, the one thing with the Nets that you can count on is late in games, if they have a lead, you can count on Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant to salt away games at the free throw line. So we're going to count on that. We're going to ride Brooklyn to win a 13th consecutive game and lay the 5 points in Chicago.
Tony Mejia, I'll tell you what, one of the best cappers in the history of the business over at WagerTalk says they're going to stay hot, the Brooklyn Nets guys. Tony Mejia said, now, Tony, just to clarify, you said you have a 5% play coming up?
Yeah, there'll be a 5% play coming up this weekend, and a little treat for you guys out in Las Vegas. I got a text from Todd Dewey to wrap up the regular season Las Vegas Review-Journal picks thing in the paper. So nice. All my write-ups will be out there this Sunday, I believe.
I look forward to that, and I'll talk about it next week on the show. I'll save the analysis. For all of you guys, Todd Dewey's one of the sports. He's like an assistant sports editor over at the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Good friend of mine. As a matter of fact, Tony, he was on my show, on the Football Forecast show that I did for years. We had him on regularly, and we used to mess with him about being from Massachusetts all the time. And he's got that real tough – between his accent and my accent, I don't know how people just didn't turn us off. But I want to thank Tony Mejia for stopping by. He's got some plays going up on WagerTalk very, very shortly. So be sure to go over to WagerTalk after the show. Follow Tony Mejia. You can follow him all the way to the bank. And, Tony, I will save the column this weekend. We'll talk about it next weekend. I appreciate you stopping by. Happy New Year to you and your beautiful family, and thank you for everything.
Much appreciated. I will keep an eye on your Twitter feed on Friday, I guess. You have some good stuff on
we'll have some fun. We'll have some fun. When do you see the outfit I wear? And it's going to put Jesse Schul's little unitard to shame. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you very much, Tony. Have a great day. God bless.
Thanks, fellas. Always a pleasure to be on with you guys, and I'll see you next Wednesday.
All right,
see you later,
next
buddy.
week.
Cheers,
He's always just so much fun. He's a great capper. Yes. Guys, follow Tony. You know, the best collection of cappers in this business. All right, Sportsman and WagerTalk, and numbers don't lie. His numbers are some of the best in the history of this business. Speaking about some of the best, My good friend Don Buster. This is my first show with him. Our first show with him in the new year. You know, Don is one of
and we kind of, you know, because of the holidays and that, we kind of missed him a couple of weeks. And it's really nice to have him back.
You know, it is nice to have him back, but I'm glad to see he's taking some time off because he's a hardworking guy. You know, it isn't easy being a leaderboard fixture, a perennial leaderboard fixture.
I mean, come on, he's living the life. He's traveling here, he's traveling there. I mean, if he could just like stick me in a suitcase and take me with, you know. Well,
you know what? He could probably fit you in a suitcase. So don't tempt him. Don Buster is one of the best cappers on the planet. You know, he always talks about, like, he'll go on a 9-1 run and talk about that one loss because that's the type of class and integrity he has. But he's not going to be boasting about himself, so I'm going to do it. Don Buster is always on the leaderboards over at Sports Memo. Now, I got to tell you, yes, he does all the major sports. He also does NHL, which, you know, NHL, less cappers do NHL. He also does golf. He also does some other things. I'm going to tell you right now, Don is an ideal capper for you to get one of them 30-day all sports discounts because you're going to get a slew of sports. And I'm going to tell you right now, you'll come back for a longer stay. Don Buster's going to tell you what he's been doing, what you can expect from him on the premium side at Sports Memo. He's got a free best bet. Don Buster, take it away.
Well, thank you very much, Joe and Dionne. I appreciate that. And, you know, you're more than welcome down here in Mexico anytime. Just give us a call. We have sitting on a beach here. It is quite nice. It's nice when, you know, when you're running good, and it's nice when you're running bad, because then when you could just look out and go, you know what, we'll live to fight another day and move forward. So anyways, you're right, Joe. I don't really like to talk too much about my stuff, winning or losing. And but we do have a triple play up today. That's Go Over Sports Memo. It's NBA, college basketball, and NHL triple play. You can grab that for $12 over at the site. And yes, grab one of those packages for that the powers that be at Sports Memo put up. We've got like a 30 for the ring in the new year deal. So lots of great discounts there. So you might want to go over there and check that out with all the other amazing cappers on the site. For us, our free play here on the show, guys, is going to be Minnesota minus 115. We like Minnesota. They're at home. It's a small number. And now Tampa Bay comes to Minnesota playing in less than 24 hours on a back-to-back after beating Chicago last night 4-1. And truthfully, they didn't really look that good in Chicago either. I mean, they end up having to win that game late. Minnesota comes here maybe playing their best hockey of the season. They've won 8 of their last 10 games, and there's a huge problem for Tampa Bay here. Tampa Bay struggles when they go to Minnesota. They have lost 10 of their last 11 games in Minnesota. Now, as some of you know, and I'm sure you guys know here, I do puck time on Tuesdays with Carmine and Andrew, every Tuesday guest. And I mention these kind of streaks all the time, and I get guys making comments, Buster, yeah, that was, you know, they only play twice a year. That's 11 years. That's 10 years, whatever. We've all been around to know that as gamblers, history tends to repeat itself. And I've proved on that show for about 4 years. And even last night, I mentioned a stat. Carolina had won 17 games in a row. And not that I took the Rangers or anything, but I mentioned a stat that Carolina was 5-21 the last 26 games in Madison Square Garden. And sure enough, they finally go down after not losing in 17 games. So, and there was a couple other streaks I mentioned on there last night, and I think they went 3-0 on these big streaks over a long history. And for some reason, it's just not hockey. It's NHL, it's NFL, it's NBA. These long streaks, I don't know what it is. Maybe teams go in there, like Tampa Bay knows. That club knows that their team, whether they've been on that team or not, they have a hard time playing in that Minnesota barn. So anyways, that's just part of the handicap. I really like them there. One more thing about Minnesota that I really like. Tampa Bay, very short rest, as I mentioned, 24 hours. Minnesota, they haven't played since Saturday. So they've had 3 days off. And as everybody knows that follows the NHL, getting 3 days off on the NHL schedule, that's huge. So I really look for Minnesota to come out and do what they've done to Tampa Bay throughout the last probably 8-9 years and beat them tonight.
Great stuff from Don Buster. He says the Minnesota Wild is going to continue their dominance of Tampa Bay. Guys, Don Buster is one of the best captains in the history of this business. And like I said, we've got the best customer appreciation discounts anywhere on the planet, Sports Memo and WagerTalk. Don is a perfect capper to take advantage of those because he does. Don, how many sports do you contribute to over at Sports Memo, please?
Golf, NFL, NBA, not so much NBA as much. That's my lowest volume of sport. Lots of college basketball. We're actually having a really good run in college basketball, although, as I mentioned, lost a couple close ones last night. And I do a couple of sports that people don't probably bet a lot, but I'm very big into CFL, the Canadian Football League. As you all know, I'm Canadian. So, yeah, we do a bunch of sports. I will not be doing any of this USFL or any of that kind of stuff. I don't have the time for that kind of stuff. But, yeah, so we're into a lot of sports. As you know, it takes a lot of time. And a lot of time, as you guys know, you spend a whole bunch of time and things don't go your way. But you know what? That's just part of this. And it's amazing how that can happen as well. So, again, we do a lot of sports. We've been successful. NFL, we're up this year. College basketball, we're doing very well. NHL, I think we're at plus 35 units on the season. That's from October. And NHL's a grind. Everybody knows it's a 9-month grind. And again, if we can win our overtime games, and people that watch this that know me, I have struggled for 3 years in NHL overtime. And I said actually yesterday on the Puck Time show, I'm 6-12 this year, and I'm happy about that. That's better than what I've been doing in the past years. It's been just one of those things. I guess the hockey gods don't like me when I get to overtime. So,
well, I'll tell you what, we love you, and everybody out there that gets your all sports discounted programs. I certainly love you too. Don Buster's going to stick around, but after the show, make sure you follow Don with the best customer appreciation discounts on the planet over at Sports Memo. Now, guys, I want to talk real quick about history. And, Zeus, Apollo, Poseidon, and Ares are all very well-known Greek gods. Well, in sports betting, we have our own Greek god, and we're lucky to have them all to ourselves at Sports Memo, and his name is Pavlos Laguretos. And I got to tell you this. I started in this business when I was 10 years old with football sheets in the schoolyard. My teen years, I could tell you that I worked for the biggest book during my teen years, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I worked for the biggest bookmaking office in the tri-state area down in Little Italy, but they had their arms reached quite. They were at a wide wingspan. I came out to Vegas. Right away, I worked in some of the sports books. I worked for the original lines makers. I then worked for some line services. I then worked for some of the icons in the industry, Jim Feiss, Wayne Root. I've got to tell you, then I made my name for myself, my own right. And I have never seen anybody as successful in any individual sport as Pavlos Laguretos is in soccer. All right. Having said that, they call me the best big game hunter on the planet. Well, I got to tell you, Pavlos Laguretos, 5 and 10 unit plays are amazing. Not only does he win with the 3 to 4 units, but his 5s and 10s, they're off the charts. I got to tell you right now, if I told you his record, you'd never believe another word I said again. That's how good they are. Pavlos is going to tell you what he's been doing. He's going to tell you what you could expect from him on the premium side of Sports Memo. He's got a free best bet. Pavlos, take it away.
Okay, I had a nice winner yesterday, a 5% on Manchester United money line. Well, I also gave out the Manchester United to win to nil as a 2%. So a double whammy there, a double winner, actually, I should say. And a couple of other winners in the Copa del Rey. And this, as you said, Joe, this big plays have been really, really kind to us so far in the season. 16-4 in 5% side bets this season. 80% win rate, which is really, really nice for 20 matches. Again, 80% win rate, 20-5 in my last 21 plays, rated 4% and above. 88.9% win rate, 8-1 in my last 5% side bets. Plus 71 bankroll gain since December 1 in soccer. Plus 14.75% bankroll gain in 2023 already. So it's been going really, really nice with the soccer plays. I think it's my best season so far at Sports Memo. I hadn't been here for many years, but I think this is by far my best season, and I'm looking to continue. I do have another big 5% soccer destroyer for next Wednesday. That's a week from now, but the line is starting to change. So head over at my page, buy the pick and play it now, bet on it now, because I can guarantee you that the line, if you bet it on, I don't know, 3-4 days from now, the line is going to change. Now, for my free play, there is the Serie A for tonight, 2:45 p.m. Eastern. The Serie A is back, the Italian league, after almost 2 months of inactivity due to the World Cup. And we have a huge match between Inter Milan and Napoli. And now Napoli, they've been ecstatic so far in the season. They are actually the only unbeaten team in the Big Five leagues. In Europe, they are the only one that hasn't lost. They have 13 wins and 2 draws in 15 matches. Of course, sitting at the top of the league tables with 41 points, 5 points ahead of AC Milan, who won earlier in the day. And now they're hosted actually by Inter Milan, the other Milan team, who are sitting at the 5th spot. Kind of mediocre season so far, but they picked up some steam lately. They have 10 wins and 5 losses in 15 matches, this Inter Milan side. No draws so far in the season. They are the only team in the Serie A without a draw. I think their last draw in a league match was, of course, last season. They haven't had a draw in 24 Serie A matches. That's a huge streak, and all streaks must come to an end. That's one of the unspoken rules in soccer. Every streak must come to an end. And Napoli, as I said, in 15 matches so far in the season, they have 13 wins and just 2 draws. And those 2 draws were back-to-back draws in August. So there's been a drought in draws for both sides. And again, all streaks must come to an end. So Napoli, they wouldn't be destroyed with a draw here. It would keep them at the top spot, safely 7 points ahead of the second AC Milan. And it's Inter Milan who really want to win this one. Of course, both teams want to win this one, but Inter Milan have more need of points than Napoli. But Napoli, they've been stellar in XG numbers, XGA numbers. They're in the top 3 of every statistical category so far in the season. I do see them not losing tonight. I'm taking the risk with a draw at plus 240. I think that's a fair price for a very, very possible outcome. So yeah, we're taking the draw at plus 240. If you want some correct score predictions, I'd take the 1-1 draw at plus 550, the 2-2 draw at plus 1100, and that's about it.
Great stuff from the Greek god of soccer, Pavlos Laguretos, who says Inter Milan, Napoli, draw, plus 240. There's some other options he gave you to get those higher odds as well. Pavlos, I've noticed I can't recall you ever putting out a minus. You're always putting out these something that gives you an advantage on the line. I got to ask you, just to pick your brain for my own personal curiosity, do you ever put out any of these favorites? Because I don't recall you ever putting out any favorites.
I do give them out. I do put them out, but sometimes when I'm in shows like this, I want to give just a different perspective, because most soccer bettors, they go to the spread, they go to the money line, and they go to the total, and that's about it. So I try to give different perspectives, because betting becomes legal in more and more US states, and there's more people either novice bettors or expert bettors, and I just try to give a different perspective, and with a whole with the whole reasoning behind it. I just don't throw darts. Let's say, okay, this is a draw, this is a win, this is an over. If you look at my page, I change the way that I write my write-ups, and it's very, very easy, even for the for the amateur bettors to understand what's going on. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to contact me. There's my my Twitter handle. So we're all here to win money together, guys. We're all on the same team. So that's what I try to do, and I hope you like it.
Now, Pavlos, I love you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but Pavlos, I am going to put you on the spot with something. Guys, I like to put people on the spot because, that's just me. It's hard to argue with success, let alone perfection. Last year, I went back in my records. I know more about turbine engines than I know about betting soccer. Now, there isn't a facet of sports betting I don't know, but I know nothing about soccer. Of course, I know what I read or see in the highlights and know the major players. But last year, I followed Pavlos 14 times, and won 14 times, 14-0. So, Pavlos, there's a lot of pressure on you this year. We're going to do full year. I'm going to tell you right now, I want a top 14-0, and I think you're the guy to do it for me. Guys, Pavlos Laguretos, the Greek god of soccer. After the show, I'm telling you right now, go follow him. Dip your toe in the Pavlos Laguretos pool. You'll come back and dive right in. He is a winner. Pavlos is going to stick around. You have any questions for him or Don? We're going to answer them at the end of the show. Plus, we're going to run down everybody's free plays after Dionne and I give out our free best bets. So if you missed anything, just sit tight. And if you have any questions, fire away. Guys, we're going to give you Ross's and Tony's too. Their free plays. I want to talk about the First Lady of Las Vegas because not only do I love her and I wake up to her every morning and I get to share this life with her, which is there's nothing to even compare it to. But I'm very proud of her. You know, I got to know Dionne. We're together 22 years and I'm here 32. As a matter of fact, we moved out here
same year,
same month, 32 years ago. It was December of 89. I bought my house. I officially moved out July of 90. Took me 6 months to get some stuff in order in New York. She moved out July of 90. Right away, I got a reputation for being a pretty smart bettor. Mm-hmm. Right away, I heard about, because back then there wasn't a lot of women in the sports books. And the ones that did look like, I don't know, they looked like Mike Tyson. They didn't look like women. So having said that, they really didn't. I got to tell you, man, oh my God. But I will tell you, and word was around, you know, and a pretty girl is in a sports book, you know, and then there's a really cute girl that's really beating up the books. And for a decade, we ran in the same circles. We hung out in the same places. We knew the same people. We ate in the same restaurants. I don't even know if we were in the same place at the same time. Like Michael and LaToya Jackson, we were never probably in the same place at the same time. But then we met. 9 days after we met, we moved in together. But she had this reputation for being one of the sharpest sports bettors in Vegas. And I got to tell you, you know, being with me, she's produced a lot of my shows. She's helped me with my newsletters. She's helped me with the radio shows. She's helped me with a lot of different facets. And I told her a couple years ago, you got to do this, man. You're making money betting your own games, but get your games out there, man. She says, well, yeah. I said, listen, you helping people supplement their income, trust me, there's no greater reward. It's one of the best rewards in the world, knowing that you guys put your trust in us and we help you supplement your incomes. And, you know, when she hit the ground as a professional capper, she hit the ground running. Finished number 2 last year in the world in college football. All 5. So I think you only did 5 sports last year. I think you did hockey last year.
I did not do hockey last year.
Did you do a WNBA last year? No. Okay. So 4 or 5 sports, all leaderboards. This year, 5 leaderboard, 7 sports, 7 leaderboard. She's killing it in a couple of different sports right now. The First Lady of Las Vegas is going to tell you what she's been doing, what you can expect from her on the premium side, and she's got a free best bet for you. Dionne, take it away, baby.
Thank you. You are too kind. Right now, I am 71.4%. My last 7 college basketball releases at 5-2. Today, I have 2 big winners on the board for you. I have my NCAA basketball slam dunk winner and my NCAA basketball totals moneymaker. They're both posted right now over at Sports Memo, so make sure you head on over to the site and pick those up. It's also the perfect time to go ahead and take advantage of that 7-day all access that myself or Joey have for you right now. With the 2 of us, he's doing 5 sports. No, you're doing 4 sports. I'm doing 5. You can get a 7-day all access from either one of us for just $59 by using the code FAMILY7 upon checkout. And for my free play today, guys, taking court for the first time in the new year, the 16th ranked Blue Devils are playing some great basketball. They come off an 86-67 win and cover over Florida State, in which they hit 51% from the floor to give them a 2-1 conference record. On the other hand, the Wolfpack looks like they're in for a very long season. Sure, they are 11-4 overall, but since their conference schedule started, they are just 1-3. And for our purposes, folks, they've only covered 1 game since November 25th. Things are going to go from bad to worse for them, in my opinion, as the Blue Devils defense is the toughest they have yet to face this season. Duke, they rank 23rd nationally, allowing just 60.9 points per game. And they are monsters on the glass at both ends of the court. Not only that, though, but Duke is significantly deeper as they rotate 9 talented players on the court for most of the part. Meanwhile, I feel NC State is going to run out of gas here, as they are not very deep on bench with talent. They solely rely upon 6 players to do most of their minutes. Come the second half, they're going to be gasping for air here. I'm sorry. And by the way, the Blue Devils, they have won and covered the last 3 meetings in this series by an average margin of 16.6 points per game. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Duke Blue Devils minus the 5 today.
The First Lady of Las Vegas says, take Duke all the way to the bank, guys. She is a winner. Once again, what do you got for everybody tonight?
I have 2 games on the board tonight in college basketball. I have my totals moneymaker, and I also have my slam dunk winner. They're both posted right now for $15 a piece. Or the better deal is get a 7-day all access for just $59.
God, I love you. Now, guys, I do want to apologize for being a little distracted or distracting during Dionne's analysis. We have 4 dogs, everybody knows. We have Teaser, Dice, Pai Gow, and Kino. And the dogs go a little nuts when they hear Dionne's voice. And one in particular, Pai Gow, she is like, I don't know what she just
she's our basically our ADD.
She's
dog.
our ADD dog, and so she tortures. I wanted to make sure that my chair didn't roll over on her, or she did not get tangled up with anything down here. So my apologies. I didn't mean to distract you, but she's going crazy right now, and she does this every time she hears Dionne's voice. But follow Dionne all the way to the back. We got that wonderful discount.
Yeah.
Joe or Dionne discount, 7 days all sports, just $59. Use code family7 upon check. Once again, I'm sorry, but I want to make sure we don't hurt our doggies. Our doggies. Don't ever tell my son this, but our doggies are our kids. I'll tell you that right now. I'll never admit that in front of my son.
And they're all crazy, just like you.
They take after her side. Now, having said that, guys, let me take the floor real quick. And like I said, if you missed any portion of the show, we are going to run down everybody's free plays, including Ross Benjamin's and Tony Mejia's. They had to take off, get some more plays up on Sports Memo and WagerTalk. And if you have any questions or comments for Don, Pavlos, Dionne, and myself, we're going to try to answer them. So shoot, fire away. So let me take the floor for real quick, guys. Let me start by saying this. Wowee! Wowee. I'm a perfect 100% in the new year in college basketball premium releases. I come off a 2-0 evening last night. Today, we continue to stay perfect as I have my 55-16. That's right, 55-16. College basketball, Las Vegas strip move play. My LVSMs are 4-1 this season alone. When all of my Vegas sources come in with the same team as my analysts and myself, it becomes a Las Vegas strip move place. Guys, it doesn't stop there. I also have my first college basketball shocker play of the campaign. My shockers are an astounding 22-6 run. Join me here in the first run of the season, and together we're going to shock the books. But wait, there's more. There's more, guys. As you know, I own the ACC every year. Every year, I'm telling you right now, they should just nickname it Joe D's ACC. I'll tell you right now, every season I dominate in this conference. Today, I'm excited to announce I have my first ACC game of the week. Guess what matchup? The Wake Forest and North Carolina matchup tonight. Follow me tonight because I'm going to stay perfect in the new year in college basketball. I posted all 3 of these big winners individually, but you know what, guys? I also want you to make sure that you maximize your profits and minimize any expenditures. I put a 3-game discounted package at Sports Mall, just 29 buckaroonies. Take advantage of it. Follow me to the bank. Now, guys, I got to tell you, my free plays are already 2-0 this week. Today, I continue to get you paid with free releases as we go to the Capital One Arena and a matchup between Big East rivals, the Villanova Wildcats and the Georgetown Hoyas. My friends, between these 2 teams, they're just a lowly 1-6 in conference play thus far in this short season. Granted, Georgetown comes in here riding a 5-game straight-up slide in which they've only covered one of those 5 outings. But let's face it, guys, Villanova isn't looking too much better. Dropping their last 2 contests to both UConn and Marquette, barely eking out a cover against the Huskies as a 12.5-point underdog. Looking at those games, guys, to say they played sloppy basketball would be an understatement. We all know the Hoyas have not had a conference win in quite some time. If I'm not mistaken, it's 24 or 25 straight games that haven't had a conference win, guys. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Remember, folks, it's not about who wins. It's about who covers. Yes, this team comes off a beating at the hands of Butler on New Year's Day, and I don't expect them to be much better than a Big East doormat again this season. However, giving them 10 points is a mistake. I don't see Villanova being a double-digit favorite against anyone, folks. As a matter of fact, the Wildcats are 0-4 this season already as a favorite of 10 and more points against the spread. Granted, they possess 4 double-digit scorers and a couple of solid rebounders, but in all sincerity, guys, there is nothing that I haven't seen about this team that tells me that they should be this high of a favorite, even against the lowly Hoyas. Oh, by the way, folks, the underdog has covered the last 4 meetings in this rivalry. Villanova just 1-6 ATS the last 7 games played following a straight-up loss, while Georgetown 8-3 ATS the last 11 games played following an ATS loss. This is way too many points, folks. I was hooked on phonics, folks. Didn't come in there. This is way too many points, folks. The Hoya Boya Destroyer to cover today. Take the points. Let me go back. Let me bring everybody back.
Hoya Boya Destroyer.
That's what they used to say back in the 80s when Patrick Ewing was on the darn team, man. Man, I got to tell you, a lot of people don't know, and I'll be honest. Listen, I lie. I say I'm 5'8". We both know I'm not. There's a little park in the lower west side of Manhattan. Mm-hmm. It's off of West 4th Street. And I will tell you, if they show it in a million basketball movies, the greatest basketball players on the planet that hustle. And there are hustlers all over this world that go from, you've seen some of those guys that played those courts on the beach in, what was that?
Venice.
White Men Can't Jump and stuff like that. But the greatest in the world, there's some great ones in different places of Brooklyn, but the best hustle players play in this little tiny court in the lower side of Manhattan, in the Greenwich Village area. And I used to play because my high school was on West 16th Street. I went to Xavier High School. It was 12 blocks away, and we used to go down there in high school, and we used to play. And I swear to God, we used to run in high school when they were playing for Georgetown and Villanova. Patrick Ewing regularly, Ed Pickney regularly. They can't get in trouble now. They used to play for money. We used to see New York Knicks there used to play back in the day. I remember growing up and seeing Bernard King hustle on those courts while he was still playing, and he would run over to Madison Square Garden at night.
Really?
That is very interesting. I'll tell you what, the more money changed hands back in those days. It was amazing.
So did you dunk a few baskets with him?
I want a divorce lawyer. I'll tell you one thing. All state football, all state baseball. All right, guys. I couldn't palm the ball because I got baby hands, but always could hit the rim. Could never dunk it. But I had some hops, Steve. I had some hops.
Yeah.
I had some hops. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't make fun of me. Divorce lawyer, guys. Guys, I want to get some closing thoughts and comments from Pavlos and Don Buster. Then we're going to run down today's free plays, get you out if here in time for you to take advantage of all these free winners. You got Pavlos, closing thoughts and comments for our viewers.
I just take it slow, guys. It's a marathon. There's a lot of plays, a lot of sports, a lot of things to go around. Just trust your experts. We're here to, we're devoting our time to giving you the best angles, the best prices, the best odds. So just trust an expert today, and don't throw your money away, on sportsbooks. Just trust your nearest expert today.
Now, Pavlos, real quick, from my own personal point of view, I noticed you had no sunglasses on, but you came on with a leather jacket. You're as cool as the other side of the pillow, buddy. I love you. You're like the Fonzie of sports betting. You are so damn cool. I love you.
He's getting ready to hang on the motorcycle.
You're always so cool, we've got to jump on a plane, me and Dionne, and you got to jump on a plane. We got to go surprise Don Buster down in Mexico. We're just going to knock on you're going to hear this one day, Don. It's us. Don Buster, can I get some closing thoughts and comments from you for our viewers, please, sir?
Well, you know what, Joe? I'm glad to be back on the show. We missed last Wednesday, but I don't think you had a show last Wednesday. And but anyways, just Happy New Year to everybody. Best of luck with everything. And again, thanks for having me on the show as always. And might not make next Wednesday, Joe, but I'm hoping maybe you'll let me come on Monday. So
let me tell you, Don Buster, this is like the mob. Once you're in, there's only one way out. We ain't letting you go anywhere. You are welcome here as long as you want to be here. Sports fans, we're going to run down today's free plays. Dionne's going to sign us off out of here so you can get down on all the free winners you got. My good friend Ross Benjamin killed it bowl season. I believe it was 12-4-1. Good enough, 75%? Pretty damn good, right? So, yeah,
that's what he said.
Pretty damn good. Ross had the TCU Horned Frogs tonight plus the 6. My good buddy Tony Mejia, a leaderboard fixture over at WagerTalk, says the Brooklyn Nuts to stay hot minus the 5. Don, what'd you have for everybody, handsome?
I've got the Minnesota Wild in the NHL tonight minus 115.
The Greek god of soccer, what'd you have for everyone, buddy?
I have a Serie A match tonight between Inter Milan and Napoli. I have the draw at plus 240.
Nice. I love that. The first lady of Las Vegas, Dionne D'Amico.
I'm going with Duke minus the points today.
And your sexy and savory host, who could dunk. If I get on Shaq's shoulders. Said the Georgetown Hoya Boya Destroyers plus the points. I believe this game went down to 9. Don't quote me on that, but if it did, I still like them plus those points. Too many points, guys. Dionne's going to take us on out of here, guys.
Yeah, so don't forget to follow all of these amazing cappers that are on the First Family Show on Twitter, along with myself and Joe. And don't forget to tune into all of Sports Memo TV's amazing shows for some free winners and some great betting insights. And on behalf of Sports Memo, WagerTalk, Pavlos, Don, Ross, Tony, and us. This is the First Family of Vegas.
Everyone out there, good luck and have a